Hi, my name is Basha, and this is my first YouTube video. I decided to do it on being, a big girl or whatever. And, yeah, so I live in Los Angeles, and it's like, a lot of people ask me, well, I live in the Crenshaw district too, and they ask me, like, where you get your clothes from, big girls? Where you get your clothes from, da-da-da. You're pretty for a big girl, they tell me little compliments. Well, that's not really a compliment, is it? Like, you're pretty for a big girl. So are you basically saying, like, I'm a big girl, so, to be a big girl, I'm supposed to be ugly? Basically, and I get it a lot, and I know a lot of my homegirls who are big get it a lot too, and, the ones that are dark-skinned, they actually think I have an advantage because I'm light-skinned. There is no advantages of being big. If you're big, you're big. Guys come to me all the time saying they think I'd be prettier if I lost weight. Not a lot of guys, so excuse me, but enough. I've had a lot of boyfriends or whatever, so I don't think I've really been knocked because of my weight. But I know a lot of people, sit there and they'll be like, oh, like, she's a pretty big girl still. Like, there is no such thing as pretty big girl. I am a girl just like everybody else. Like, if I came to a skinny girl and I was all like, you're so pretty for a skinny girl, she's gonna look at me like I have shit on my face. And right now, I'm very pure. I have like a little basket on, so But yeah. And I think being a big girl, you have to work harder than a skinny girl, because it's like they make it seem like a lot of guys don't like big girls. I've been with a couple of guys that like big girls, or whatever. And I've always when I with handsome guys, or whatever, I never really had a problem, whatever. But lately, I've been having a lot of problems, and it's like. A lot of guys will tell me, like, I think you'd be so much prettier if you lost weight. My face is not going to change if I lose weight. My body shape is. And it's like, I'm multicultural or interracial, whatever the word is. My dad is Jamaican and Chinese, and my mom, what is my mom? I think she's Indian and black, but, still a connection with the race or whatever. My dad looks more Chinese than Jamaican. He does have an accent, so it's funny to me. But, yeah, and like I said, a lot of big girls, they, oh, my dog hair is just blowing because the fan is on. A lot of big girls think that I have it better because I'm light skinned, and like I'm saying, it does not work like that. We all get offended, and I'm not even accepted by my dad's side of the family because of my weight. Yes, the craziest thing. And a lot of, you think Jamaicans will like big people? No, not these Jamaicans. My Jamaican family are discriminative, that's a word, to big people. I didn't hear, my grandma told me I should be on that Dance Your Ass Off show or whatever, and she's a little rude. I don't want to say bitch, but I don't like her, and I don't disrespect her neither because she's a little, but yeah, my grandma, she always tell me, every Christmas, this is what I got, and I come from a wealthy Jamaican family, and she told me I'll be so much prettier. No, she didn't say that. Sorry, that's somebody else. She said, for every Christmas since I was about 8, she said, I would have bought you something. I can't talk like that, but I would have bought you something if you lose some weight. Me can't find your size there. Everywhere me I go, me can't find your size. My mom's mother, she finds my size everywhere. And when I was little, when I was 8 years old, I was chunky, but my size was around. Just my size is still around, actually. I'm a 16, like 16, 17, 18, I could say, And I don't really have a problem with it, because I think it's the way you wear yourself. Now you wear yourself, you wear your clothes. If you dress like you nasty and stuff, like, people gonna look at you like that. Either you skinny or you fat. It's like if you represent yourself in like a, hello. Like I'm not trying to act like I'm bougie or whatever with my hello, but it's like if you represent yourself in like a nice, way. Oh, that might come on my key. Oh no. People are going to look at you in that way. And like I said, you're always going to get people offend you no matter what you look like or whatever, but I know that big girls got it bad, and I know I've had it bad for a long time or whatever. Like, my ex-boyfriend, he even told me, if I wasn't light-skinned, with pretty hair, he wouldn't have gone out with me. Honestly, pretty hair doesn't mean shit, because my hair, I have to put fucking conditioner on it for a good fucking couple of hours just for it to just maintain some type of, my hair was in a ponytail earlier. But, yeah, in the gel, you can see the gel is just sticking or whatnot or whatever. But, yeah, so it's not easy being a big girl. And it's not easy losing weight if you're not emotionally and mentally ready for it. When people tell you, oh, you have to lose weight, you need to lose some weight, you're going to be like, huh, let me go get a donut, you know? And it's like, people don't understand you're not always big because of the way you eat. You know, my mom's side of the family, they naturally are big, and my dad's side of the family are naturally small. So it's like, you know, I don't eat beef, I don't eat pork. Occasionally, my dad makes me eat the heart of a chicken, but that doesn't mean, and that's only, it's like a, I don't know, he's a fucking weirdo. It's like some ritual he does. It's not voodoo though, don't worry. But yeah, and you know, it's like my dad's family or whatever, it's always been, you know, something with them. I've never received anything from my dad's family, you know, so, but I don't really care though, because, you know, my mom's family always, you know, been there for me or whatever. But I do encourage a lot of big girls, you know, that are going through a lot of problems that I go through or whatever, with, you know, family issues because you're big, and, you know, boys and stuff like that. You know, don't let it tear up your self-esteem, because once people feel your energy as if you're, you know, depressed and stuff like that, people will use that against you. And that just goes for anybody too. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I learned that self-evaluation ain't shit, you know. No, I take that back. Self-evaluation is shit. Other people to tell you that you're beautiful or that, you know, you're not fat. Because I used to have people, you know, like, oh my God, do I look so fat in this? They'd be like, no. Really, I already know, I did or whatever. But, you know, it depends on how you feel about yourself. If you feel you can rock a top, rock that top. If you can rock that dress, rock that dress. You know, if you have that confidence to do it. You know, but don't do it if you know you can't, you know. And I know a lot of big girls ask me, you know, Pasha, like, well, they don't ask me, but they tell me, they be like, Pasha, so hard to get a dude, you know, niggas and these girls, It's hard for everybody to get somebody. That's how I feel about it, you know. And me, I'm not racist or anything. I love black guys. You know, I'm black somewhere down the line, Jamaican, you know. And so my whole thing is, I love them too, but I don't prefer them anymore. You know, I shouldn't want to say it like that. How can I put it in a way? Because I know people don't prefer big girls. That's why I don't like saying it like that. But I would talk to them, but I like to date out of my race sometimes just to see what other races are doing. You know, and a lot of black guys do that, you know, so they couldn't get offended anyway. But I do date black guys too, though. But a lot of guys that, you know, I see a lot of purity in relationships when it's multicultural. But let me not get off into that, because that's another story. But I know with big girls, a lot of big girls want to know a lot of things or whatever, because a lot of girls don't have that self-confidence. So my whole thing is, I'm not trying to give it to you like that, but I'm just trying to let you know, you don't need self-evaluation. You don't need all of that shit. You know, you don't. Ooh, it's late. You don't need nobody to evaluate you. You need your own self-evaluation. Once you finally get down yourself, then you can start, you know, looking at other shit. You know, but if you always need somebody to constantly tell you about yourself, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And being big, and a lot of guys think being big is just like, you know, oh, the bitch eat too much. No, it's not like that. It could be a million things on why the girl is big. You know, and I think before guys, you know, ignore big girls, they need to really sit down and, you know, be like, damn, I wonder how she got big, because sometimes it's not food. Sometimes it's genetics, you know. So I think a lot of guys should be open-minded to big girls, and I know a lot of them aren't. So I'm going to end this my first video. So I like comments and questions, you know, regarding being big or whatever. I'm not going to talk about this for like the whole period I'm on here, but, you know, everybody was asking me about it, you know, in the world. Not the world, but, you know, in my area. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to address it because I want a lot of people like to tell me like their opinions on it. So thank you for listening for my 8 more minutes and about 53 seconds. Bye.